wasn't it?
Uh,
Like, think about it. You got this guy who just pulls this idea out of his butt one day to like put together a car from like scratch. And then all of a sudden the car's magical. Like, how does that happen? Like, it
it's
was the
the
magic school bus before the magic school bus.
it's the hallucinations you get from having too much spice when you get a Taco Bell. Oh no, sorry, that's shitty bang bang.
uh Seriously though, like that movie had to have been like just pure psychedelics use. Like no wonder at over 100 years old why Dick Van Dyke looks like a rattling skeleton. It's
Well,
crazy, right?
you know what they say that like only the good die young.
Oh God.
What fucking hell, God name bloody awful bloody thing that Dick Van Dyke do to live so long.
Right? Oh, farty, is that maybe why you're living so long? Is that why you're impervious to everything? We
Fuck.
haven't tried kryptonite yet though, but
Well, I'm trying to
um
do good deeds, so hurry the fucking hell up. Fucking yeah, bloody oh, shitty bang bang. Fucking what was I gonna say with that one? Ah, fuck it, can't remember now.
Oh well, it's okay. But yeah, dude, movies from the 60s were just
Oh, yeah,
weird.
yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Most of them were all on drugs, anyways. I mean, like, fucking look at Monty Python. That was one long LSD trip that fucking sort of went from the late 1960s all the way up to the early 1980s.
Right? Like, look at Holy Grail. Like, Holy Grail is probably like the most coherent thing the Monty Python crew ever did. But like, even then, that movie, like, who had the idea to like make the characters afraid of a tiny little bunny?
Oh, fucking speaking of which, there's this liqueur that you used to be able to get called Chambord,
Oh
and
God,
the bottle looked like the fucking holy hand grenade of Antioch.
did it really?
No shit. I got a should have still have one downstairs.
Oh
Survived two
wow,
floods.
that's
Can't drink
crazy.
can't drink what's inside it anymore. But anyway,
Do you reckon that's because it's become so alcoholic it's poisonous, or that it's just
no, because fucking it's probably been floating around in shit water for a good long while, and I don't trust the seal.
gotcha? Well, in that case, maybe keep it around. Um, but yeah, dude, like take for example, um, oh, what the heck was it? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or was it Willy Wonka and the? Which one was the one with Gene Wilder? Was it Charlie or was it Willy Wonka?
I don't care because it's interchangeable. Like I gave up trying to figure out which was which years ago.
Yeah, actually, I think now that I think about it, I think the one with Johnny Depp is trippier, right? That one's more of a brain fuck than the Gene Wilder one.
Yeah, but drugs were cheap back then.
Yeah, I suppose. And then the whole tunnel scene, right? Like they're going down they're going through the tunnel on the boat. Like I bet so many people went in to that movie on peyote or something, and right as that the peyote started kicking in right as that scene starts up, because that's like what, 20 minutes, half an hour in,
Something like that.
and that's about how long it takes for peyote to do its thing. That's about how long it takes for LSD to do its thing, because LSD was, well, no, because LSD wasn't invented until around the 80s.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it?
It
I
was
thought
around.
it
It was
was.
around in the 60s.
Was it?
Yeah, I think they
I
they
thought
invented it back in the 50s.
I thought a form of it was. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, no, there's I'm thinking MDMA was like the 80s drug. That and like ecstasy.
Yeah,
Um
and crack
oh,
cocaine.
yeah, that was all the 80s looking for those really really weird highs. But yeah, man. What was another really bed knobs and broomsticks? Wasn't that in the 60s?
Think so.
Or was that in the 50s? That movie like creeped me the hell out, dude, when I was a kid. Um Bed knobs and broomsticks. 71. So
Yeah,
it would have probably have been like filmed in the 60s, and then all that extra animation stuff they did. Like, what was Disney trying to do back in the day? You know?
I don't know, but like, well, see, yeah, animation on the big screen was still experimental back in the 60s and 70s and shit like that. So, trying to
Yeah.
combine live action with fucking cartoons was sort of, new still.
Well, they did it with Mary Poppins, and that came out in what, the 50s?
No, 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 that was 60s.
Was it the 60s?
Yeah,
Man,
Julie
dude.
Andrews ain't that old.
Well, she's old enough. Old enough to be farting dust.
Yeah, it's pretty sure Sound of Music and Mary Poppins and all that shit was in the late 60s.
Well, because I remember they were filmed in Technicolor, which was right around the beginning. Because like Technicolor was great for like 15 years until they started like experimenting with other stuff. George Lucas had come up with something in the 60s that like the ILM people, they like created an entirely new video format that everyone just started switching to, and that was kind of weird, right? Like the effects that ILM came up with, and the video recording technology they came up with.
Wasn't Dolby, was it?
No, Dolby was the sound thing they came up with.
Yeah.
But that wasn't until like the mid 70s, early 80s, which is why they did that remaster, like all the old Star Wars, and re-release it in the special editions in the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, but it's crazy, dude. Like, was it THX? I think it was THX.
Yeah.
Because it was made because George Lucas named it after that one movie he'd done, like Thex something something something.
Yeah.
Or like,
THX 236 or whatever the fuck it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they like, wasn't that like a Logan's Run kind of movie?
Something like that. Yeah, I only remember it had this one of those sort of bloody concept car thingies that looked futuristic, but never actually get released.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
that
like
was his.
electric cars or something.
Yeah, that was his directorial debut. He wrote it and directed, or he co-wrote it and directed it. Produced by Francis Ford Coppola, co-written by Walter Murch. Um, let's see. The film is set in a dystopian future in which the citizens are controlled by android police and mandatory use of drugs that suppress emotions. THEX 1138 was developed from Lucas's 1967 student film Electronic Labyrinth, THEX 1138 4EB, which he created while attending the USC School of Cinematic Arts. Where is it? Cinematic Arts. I lost my place. The film was produced in a joint venture between Warner Brothers and American Zoetrope. A novelization by Ben Bova was published in 71. The film received mixed reviews because it was garbage. from critics and underperformed at the box office because it was garbage upon its initial release, but subsequently received critical acclaim and gained a cult following, particularly in the aftermath of Lucas' success with Star Wars. A director's cut prepared by Lucas was released in 2004. In the dystopian future, sexual intercourse and reproduction are prohibited, and mind altering drugs are mandatory to enforce compliance among the citizens to ensure their ability to conduct dangerous and demeaning tasks. Um, Workers wear identical white uniforms and have shaven heads to emphasize uniformity. Likewise, with police androids who wear black and monks who are robed. Instead of names, people have designations with 3 arbitrary letters, referred to as the prefix, and 4 digits show up as an identity badge worn at all times. At their jobs in central video control centers, SEN 5241, a man, and LUH 3417, a woman, keep surveillance on the city. LUH has a male roommate named THX 1138 who works in a factory producing android police officers. At the beginning of the story, he finishes his shift while the loudspeakers urge workers to increase safety. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay. So I'm just skimming over this now, and it doesn't sound like a Logan's Run ripoff. Oh, it had Robert Duvall in it. I don't remember that. Robert Duvall, Donald Pleasance, Maggie Magomi, Don Pedro Coley, Ian Wolfe, Marshall Efron, Sid Haig, Irene Kagan, John Pierce, Mark Lawhead, and James Wheaton.
Is that James Wheaton or James Wheaton?
James Wheaton.
Any relationship to Will Wheaton?
Not unless he was adopted. James Lorenzo Wheaton, January 11th, 1924 to June 9, 2002, was an American motion picture, stage, and television actor. Wheaton's credits include THX 1138, Trouble Comes to Town, and Sanford and Son. In the early 1950s, he moved from his native Mississippi to LA, where he found work in local radio productions. His big break came when he was selected to join the Bishop's Company, a repertoire theater company which toured churches in the United States. Wheaton appeared in their first production, Christopher Fry's The Boy with a Cart, which premiered at the Vermont Square Methodist Church in LA on January 11, 1953. As the only African American member of the group, he was given the opportunity to play a wide range of roles. God damn, that's a tongue twister. Say that 4 times fast, Farty. Wide range of roles.
Let's not say we did.
Oh, well, fine. Be that way. Which was rare for black actors at the time. One of his best known roles with the company was as Scratch in The Devil and Daniel Webster. Later, he became a leading actor with the Ebony Showcase Theater in LA. He would also direct several productions for the theater. Regarding his staging of The Odd Couple, Los Angeles Times theater critic Margaret Hartford wrote, James Wheaton's slick direction makes the overall production all one could ask. His role as J.B. Mongoose in the Ebony Showcase production of Carnival Island was so popular that he was soon appearing on television. There you go. Quick little history.
So evidently no relation to Joss Whedon either.
Not unless he adopted Joss Whedon.
Wrong last name anyway.
Right. Oh, okay. Here's some actually interesting roles he had. He appeared in Room 222, Kojak, Good Times, and in the final episode of Ironside. He was Nelson B. Davis in The Friendly Undertaker on Sanford and Son. And then he was in Black Belt Jones and Gun Crazy with Drew Barrymore. Yeah.
Black Belt Jones.
Yeah.
Wonder if that's what the character Kung Fu Joe from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker is based off.
There is rumor that he is, but that was the one with let's see. Directed by Robert Clouseau or Klaus, not Clouseau. Story by Fred Weintraub, Alexandra Rose, produced by Paul Heller, Frank Weintraub, starring Jim Kelly, Gloria Hendry, Scatman Crothers. Scatman Crothers was in a movie. Wow. Kent Wakeford, cinematography edited by Michael Kahn. Okay, interesting. So yeah, he wasn't exactly like well known, but he wasn't little known either. So yeah, there you go. And apparently no relation to Joss. But yeah. That's interesting stuff, yeah. Yeah. I don't know where we go from here.
I don't know. Well, how the fuck did we get there in the first place?
I don't know. We were talking about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and all of a sudden, yeah.
Still don't get it.
I don't understand any of the movies from the 60s. I mean, The Sound of Music is a little different. That one was pretty straightforward. Here's an Austrian family, they want to get out of Nazi Germany, and they sing their way through it, I guess.
Well, Captain Von Trapp
Mm-hmm.
is getting called back up to fight in World War II.
Right.
And he doesn't want to go. So he tries to evacuate his family plus his mistress, which is the nanny.
Wait, is that actually in the story that the nanny he hires is his mistress?
Yeah. Yeah, see, like,
How
well,
did I
fucking
miss that?
basically what happens is it's one of these rich ass fucking families that don't really pay much attention to the kids, and they usually have what's called a
An au pair,
baroness.
yeah.
Um,
An au pair.
yeah, yeah, a nanny pretty much.
Yeah.
And so they've got one from a convent. So like, you know, she's a nun in training. And this is part of her duties to try and, you know, become like a full-fledged nun. Anyway, fucking so uh, there's like 7 kids, ranging from like fucking 3 to 4 or 5 to fucking 14.
Right.
The original mother's gone, dead, and the captain's got a fiance, and fucking he's gonna remarry. Initially, Julie Andrews, Maria, she shows up to fucking just simply look after the kids, but after a bit, her and the captain sort of have a love-hate relationship and end up fucking falling in love, and I think they fucking either ditch the fucking fiance or I can't remember exactly what happens, but fucking yeah, that's partially the reason why they like Maria goes along with them over the Alps.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, like, you know, like the fucking it's a musical as well.
Right.
Um, like, but in the meantime, like they, you know, they get renowned for fucking being able to sing, and you know they put on acts and shit like that, and fucking like uh yeah.
Yeah, because I
Anyway,
remember they escaped Germany by being like a troop.
yeah.
but I don't like remember anything at all from the rest of it. Mm. Well,
Yeah,
I
well,
do
that
remember that I do remember the part where she was like a nun in training and that
yeah.
she eventually just gives up on the nunnery, but
Yeah, well, they do that basically by fucking crossing the Alps.
yeah.
But yeah, it was mainly they have to escape because, like, yeah, the fucking like they wanted Captain Von Trapp to um like re-enlist pretty much to fight in World War II, and he didn't want to do it.
Well, he was retired too, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah, but they needed officers.
Oh, yeah, I forgot because oh shit, because Hitler went and recalled all military staff when he right before he started his the invasion of Poland.
Well, the between World War One and World War Two,
Mhm.
the German military was only allowed to be a certain size,
Exactly,
and
yeah, because of the not Geneva, what was it? I forget what the treaty was. Treaty of Versailles, that's it.
yep. And so instead of having a standing army with the
Mm.
traditional um, s- like numbers and rank structure and all that kind of stuff being predominantly private, they decided to basically ditch the private thing and have mainly from pretty much NCO Corps upwards.
Mm,
So if if and when war did break out, they could conscript a shit ton of people, but still already have the leadership en masse there to
yeah,
basically increase their numbers exponentially overnight, which is exactly what they did, pretty much.
yeah. It was, man, it was weird because, like, what was the first thing he did was invade Poland, I remember. I could be remembering it wrong, but it was Poland, right? Or was
Well,
it
no,
France?
Czechoslovakia.
Oh, it
Um,
was.
so
Shit,
there was
dude.
the Sudetenland, which Hitler said, yeah, no, 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 I only want the Sudetenland. And then the next thing
Mhm.
you know, he's taken Czechoslovakia, which was the first. I think it was the first of the betrayals, where he'd
Yeah.
fucking said, "Oh, I only want this bit," and then fucking, and he turned around and said to Poland, "No, I don't want to invade. No, I don't want to invade. Don't want to invade." Next thing you know, he's taken Warsaw. Said the same thing to the Russians. No, no, we have a non-aggression pact with the Russians, and the next thing you know, he's marching on Moscow. Um, he did he did that fucking the whole fucking time. It was kind of like that movie, fucking Mars Attacks. Like, you know,
Yeah.
every time they're like, "Rap, rap, 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 rap," it translates to we're friends, it's okay, come on out." And then like everyone keeps fucking believing it and getting bloody disintegrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, God, I hated Mars Attacks. I hated that movie with a passion. But yeah, no, the World War II was, like, strange.
Eh.
Like, not only the way that it started, because like, you gotta remember that the Treaty of Versailles treated every single German like like a war criminal, and that was already, like uh a petri dish, so to speak, of, like, taking the worst things you could imagine, like, brewing in a petri dish, right? And that's pretty much emotionally what Germany was going through after World War One and after the Treaty of Versailles, and economically, Germany was, like, crippled to the point where, "Oh, well, we'll never let them become a superpower ever again." And look what happened 30 years later, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's also fucking ineptitude of fucking European governments, and they try and get together, and they can never agree on anything.
Yeah.
Fucking even if their life fucking depended on it.
Oh, I know. And that's what led to the United States ending up joining with the UN, because without us, the UN would just be a freaking screaming match every single day. Not
Well,
that it isn't already, but
it was also mostly because you guys were funding their reconstruction as well.
right. And so, spoiler alert, we're still funding the reconstruction.
Yeah, so your money, your rules.
I
Pretty
wish
much.
people thought of it that way, but no, they act entitled to United States money now. Like, oh, if the U.S. pulls out of the UN and NATO, well, you should have thought about that before we started paying for everything.
Well, there was a story recently that's coming out where they were funneling money through Ukraine to fund the Biden
Yeah.
campaign. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, imagine my show. But Farty, no, 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 no. That's just a conspiracy theory that Joe Biden was in bed with Ukraine to to make money. And Burisma Holdings is just a tinfoil hat.
Mm. Anyway, so you can imagine how much money's been laundered through fucking
Oh god,
United
yeah.
Nations through their various different fucking programs like UNWRA and all that shit. And that there you go. That's the reason why fucking they've gained so much fucking sort of sway, for want of a better term, with successive soft cock fucking American governments.
Yeah. Um it's I am really hoping for the exit of the United States from the UN. I really am. I know it'll never happen. Never. Never in a million years. Um but yeah.
It'll just get basically one remove like it'll go from one leadership being you guys to basically being led by China.
Well, they're already basically led by China, so I mean, I don't see the difference.
It'll be official then.
Yeah, it'll be official, but
and
even if it is led by China, you think, oh, well, no, because
you guys will cease to have a say in the matter too.
yeah. I don't
That'd
know.
be the biggest downside of that. That's probably the reason why you're still sticking with it.
Probably, yeah, just to make sure that it doesn't, because basically there's 3 countries at the table who could just take everything, and the other 2 countries at the table, are looking at the one guy going, "No, just no." I shouldn't have to say what those 3 countries are, but, someone will ask one of these days, and then I'll tell them. It was Vardy and I know,
It's alright. They're not going to cancel us. No cunt knows who we are.
right? Um, yeah, that's crazy, man, and geopolitics just really, like, boils my blood. Because most of it is just Europe bitching at other European countries about being European countries. And the United States, Russia, and China, oops, I said the 3 countries that are at the table that are just there to make sure the other 2 don't do something that would not benefit them. Um, but yeah, you've got China, Russia, and the US looking at each other going, as soon as those guys like step out of line while these inbred hicks are fighting, yes, European countries, you are the inbred Hicks of the world. I don't care. I said it.
Well, that's basically what United Nations and NATO was supposed to be for, was to stop the fucking Europeans from bloody fighting each other and get with the program, fucking work as one cohesive bloody unit. But then they needed the European Union on top of that, and that just fucked everything.
Yeah. And then when Britain tried to do the Brexit thing, I don't know if that was successful or not. I didn't really
It was.
care. Was it? So Britain is independent of the EU, but still relies on the EU.
Well, you need to rely on the EU just to do business in Europe.
Yeah.
So you need to go through them, and it's basically a fucking economic cartel.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like they've got stupid bloody things like we just did a deal with them, and they're saying, oh, but now that means that we can use names like champagne and camembert and fucking all mozzarella and all this shit, and they're like, we fucking do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I never understood that. Like,
It's only champagne really that like I'm led to understand that fucking you need specific permission to use the champagne grapes or something like that, something like trademark.
I think it's the trademark because champagne is like the
An area.
the area in which it comes from initially
Yeah.
or originally, and they like cartelled their way into mafioso style. Like, you need to ask us before you can use it. And here in the United States, we've used it anyway. We haven't paid them a cent.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the
Yeah, we
same in Australia.
yeah. In some cases it's called sparkling wine, but other people just call it champagne.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
there's a difference between champagne and wine, and the one it's not necessarily that the champagne is carbonated. There's like other processes it goes through which makes it different, but it's still essentially the same stuff.
Mm.
Fermented grapes.
Yeah. Yeah, and it all tastes like shit.
It does, doesn't it? It's like Everclear tastes better. Have you ever had Everclear, Farty?
No,
Okay, Everclear is basically legal moonshine in the United
I know.
States.
I know. I'm not
Ha-
that fucking stupid.
Okay. It's like to anyone who's never had Everclear, open a bottle of isopropyl alcohol and take a big deep whiff of it.
Apparently you can't get the good shit anymore.
Mm.
They've lowered the alcohol content. It used to be like 100 something percent proof. Now it's like
Oh,
70.
no, here in the States it's still like 110 proof, 120 proof.
Sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
I'd check that if I were you.
I'll double check right now.
Because the softcocks fucking they gave birth to too many softcocks.
Everclear 120 proof.
Ah, there you go.
It is made from grain and bottled at up to 95% alcohol by volume.
Oh, fucking! I only watched the bloody YouTube
Now,
short just the other day where it was like, the millennials fucking sooking about fucking Everclear being bloody super strong, and there was a Gen Xer going, it was fucking stronger back in my day.
okay, so yes and no. It depends on the state, and then it depends on it depends on the state, and then it depends on the whether or not the state allows it up to a certain proof. Because there is a 151 proof and then a 190 proof. And it really depends on what state you live in that allows it, because some states do not allow Everclear at all. And then some states only allow the 151, which is 75% by volume, which is still like rip your head off high. And then others will allow up to the 190 proof, which is 95%.
Pussies.
So it's illegal in California completely because all high content alcohol is, because of course it is. And then it's has a regulation prohibiting the sale of alcohol more than 151 proof, making Everclear's 190 proof variant illegal for purchase. Everclear is not exactly 99% alcohol, but it's close. Everclear is typically blah blah blah. Yeah, you already said all this. Is Everclear okay to drink? It's safe to drink in moderation. Obviously, everything is safe to drink in moderation. Just like everything is kind of poison depending on the dose. Bottle water, right? Take water for instance. Farty, what's the LD50 of water? Do you know off the top of your head? Okay, hang on. LD50 is lethal dose and then divided by 50, if I remember right. I think that's the formula. Lethal dose, yeah, lethal dose for 50% of test subjects. There it is. That's it. For water is extremely high, exceeding 90,000 milligrams per kilogram in rats, indicating that water is generally safe but can be toxic if consumed in excessive amounts over a short period.
Oh, fuck. There was a term for it. I can't remember it. There was it's made famous in Australia because of this girl called Anna Wood, who took a few too many ecstasy pills and basically drank herself to death with water. And it was funny because there was a techno song that went "Fuck you, Anna Wood, Anna Wood, Anna Wood, Anna Wood, Anna Wood." Play on words. Fuck you, Anna Wood. Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Anyway, yes. Fuck. Can't remember the exact term for it, but it's something like fucking. It's got to do with drowning.
Mm-hmm.
You effectively waterlog your body and all that kind of shit. It
Yeah.
starts getting into your lungs and from the wrong way around, and young girls get it worse than blokes do because they retain more water coming into fertility, especially after they started their rags. It's just a natural thing that Sheilas do.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, fucking. There was another instance that this happened where it was a Wee for a Wee, I think it was called, where contestants had to drink a shit ton of water and then fucking basically, I think, hold it or something like that. And this Sheila fucking won the competition, but later on fucking carked it because the same reason. The
Yeah.
term I can't fucking remember. But yeah. That is in fact the thing. Yeah, you can actually drink yourself to death with water, and it's not just with like salt water either. It can be just like normal fucking like drinking water.
Right. So 90,000 milligrams. Isn't that like 9 kilograms?
Uh, milligrams. I think it's like 9 grams.
90,000?
Fuck.
Hang on. Let's see. We'll do 90,000.
You want me to do math, you bastard?
It's 90 grams. So that would be 9 kilograms, right?
No, 90 grams is still like under a kilogram.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
it's 1,000 grams.
yeah,
To a kilogram.
It would be 0.09 kilograms.
Yeah.
What would be the next? No. How many pounds of water would that be? That would be less than a quarter of a pound of water.
Something like that.
And then how many ounces? How many? Let's go ounces. That'd be 3.17 ounces per kilogram that a person weighs. So if a person weighed like, I don't know, pick a good weight, Farty.
110 pounds.
110 pounds. Oh my God. Making me do the math here. So pound, 110. And then we'll convert that to kilogram. Kilogram. So that'd be just under 50 kilograms. We'll say 50 just for the sake of it. So, and then just to do a roundup, we'll say 20 kilograms per kilogram. Or, sorry, not 20. We'll do point. Hang on. 20. Hang on. Hang on. I got to do this over. Thank you, Farty, for throwing me all off. You jerk. What is a slug?
Mm-hmm.
90.
It depends. It could be a sloppy little fucking snail without a shell, or it could be a fucking thing you shoot out of a shotgun.
It's a unit of measurement, and I don't know what. Ooh, excuse me, what that is.
Bugger if I
know. Okay, hang on. Where are you, kilograms? No, we want milligrams. Milligram, thank you. Kilogram. So we'll say 0.1, right? And then 0.1, where's my calculator? 0.1 times, 50, right? Yeah. Hang on. Clear. 0.1 times 50 would be 5. Yeah, that'd be 5. And so that'd be 5 kilograms per 1 kilogram of your body weight. So if you weighed 50 kilos, you would need to drink 5 times 5 is 25, 250 kilograms of water before it would kill you.
don't think it's that much.
Yeah. Because it would be the water intoxication happens at where did I find it here? 90,000 milligrams per kilogram. Exceeding 90,000 milligrams per kilogram, which would be just under 0.1 kilograms, which would be like 9 grams. No. 99. I don't feel like doing the math anymore. It's a hell of a lot of water you'd have to drink, but the point is that it's still poisonous and in high enough doses. And I forget why we stumbled onto this thread, but Everclear. But yes, anything is toxic in enough. Like oxygen is toxic in enough of in high enough doses.
Yeah.
I think part of it is over oxygenation. I forget what it does. I forget what over oxygenation does. What does it do, Farty?
good question. I can't fucking think today.
And you used to be a firefighter. Tisk, 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 tisk. Anyway.
Well,
What is...
no count's life depends on it at the moment.
Yeah, I guess. At least not that you're aware of.
Well, not right now. And if there are, they're out of eyesight, so fuck them.
They're
They're dead anyway.
not around me, and that's their problem.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What
Mm-hmm.
what are you munching on there, Farty? You're making me hungry, you
Fucking
dick.
knockoff Sayos.
Knockoff Sayos.
Yeah.
What
Sayo
are they
is a
called?
eh?
What is the brand of snacking?
McVitie's cream crackers.
McVitie's cream crackers. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see what...
Sayo is a traditional fucking cracker sort of thing that was made around about the time of the Great Depression. It was can be made out of like 3 ingredients or something like that. It was used instead of bread.
Gotcha. They look like saltines.
Yeah, no salt.
Okay. So it's the same idea, just no salt.
Pretty much.
Okay. I was wondering if they were more like Ritz or if they were like saltines. And apparently they're like saltines.
Yeah, just with no salt.
Yeah. And you guys call them biscuits. You call everything biscuits, though, don't you?
Well, these are more a crisp bread than anything else.
Unleavened bread.
Unleavened bread.
Yeah, because there's no yeast in it. There's no yeast in crackers. That's why crackers can be bread, but also be kosher. Yeah.
Don't know why they just don't make damper.
Say again?
Don't know why they just don't make damper.
I don't know.
It's flour, salt, and water pretty much.
Okay. Sounds interesting. Well, I'm out of steam. What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll cap it here for now. We'll see you guys next time, sometime during the weekend, I guess.